What's up, folks? This your boy Charles the Tank Dixon, Performance Labs Athlete 212 champion, and you are watching No Bull Weekly with Christian Duque. Bow!
What's up, everyone? Christian Duque, MD Noble Weekly, Episode 6, brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com, your go-to source for all your bodybuilding and fitness supplements. Big shout out and big thank you to my good friend Charles the Tank Dixon for that awesome intro. Let's dive right into the fun here. Let's talk about my feud with six-time Mr. Olympia Phil the Gift Heath that has started since last week's Episode 5 when I reported the news that ProSubs was launching a series of ads implying that Flexitron Sean Roden was going to be this year's Mr. Olympia. As a result, I got blocked, unblocked, and reblocked on Instagram by the gift, and then I got blocked on Twitter. On Sunday, I released an article at IronMagazine.com that he apparently read, didn't like, messaged me from his 2.2 million follower account on Instagram telling me that my reporting was classless, hypocritical, and full of bad assessments. And I responded to Phil this. I said, Phil, you need thicker skin. Bodybuilding isn't just guys oiling up and posing under the lights. There is an undeniable entertainment value. And you should be having fun with these ads. You know, you're six-time Mr. Olympia. You get perfect scores at this competition. You should have fun with this. But Phil cannot accept a challenge. He cannot accept criticism. At least that is my humble opinion. The reality of the matter is that Flexitron was last year's runner-up. If he wants to say that he's going to be this year's Mr. Olympia, you know, every guy that qualifies for the competition can say that, but last year's runner-up and a guy that's been in the top three for, 3-4 years, he has that right. And, you know, Phil blocking people, he is the ambassador of bodybuilding to the world, and he's blocking people on social media. I mean, honestly, to me, that's weak. It's weak as water, actually. You know what I mean? I do respect Phil. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have called him a crybaby, but what is that? I mean, what is that? You know what I mean? And the reality of the matter is Flexitron can win, not by playing the size game. I've heard people say, oh, he needs bigger triceps, or, you know, he does need to bring up his back. True. But the triceps, I mean, you know, no offense to Dexter Jackson, but Dexter Jackson won a Mr. Olympia without having any real calves. You know what I mean? And that's not a knock on him necessarily. It's just that you don't have to be perfect. You can have a lagging body part. You can be human and win the Mr. Olympia. Now, that having been said, the big elephant in the room is the fact that Phil might come in off. Now, I get it. He's done 6 consecutive Mr. Olympias where he's never been off. But now, there's this whole psychological aspect to everything. ProSubs, all 400 athletes plus, the CEO, everybody's behind Flexitron. They're behind these ads. These ads are not going to stop. If anything, they're going to intensify. And Phil is going to have to develop thicker skin and not let this shit affect him. Now, if it does affect him, you know, his cortisol levels are going to go through the roof. You know what I mean? He's not going to focus on the Olympia. He might come in off. I mean, there's a lot of different factors. And again, I don't want to knock Dexter Jackson, but if Jay Cutler had not been off, you wouldn't have a Sandow. I mean, that's just the reality, and this is known by everyone across the boards. Now, Dexter or Flexitron could easily come in and win the Sandow from Phil if he's off, or an even greater threat than him coming off because of any psychological warfare or anything like that is the fact that Phil might actually be coming in bigger because of the Rami factor. Now, you know, Jay Cutler did a great interview at Digital Muscle where he said that in his opinion, there's no way that Big Rami could win the Mr. Olympia because there's no way that a guy that's 300 pounds on stage could be dialed in. And I agree with that. And, you know, to me, honestly, Rami is not a threat to Phil. But Phil may not like the fact that Rami, I'm sorry to say, is more popular than Phil. And probably more people would love nothing more than to see Big Rami leave Las Vegas with a Sandow, take it back to Kuwait, to Oxygen Gym. I mean, that's what a lot of people want. So maybe psychologically, that might push Phil to get bigger. A bigger Phil may not be a better Phil. I mean, you know, and that's the same thing with Sean. Sean does not have to play the size game. Sean, if anything, should come in smaller and keep his lines and keep his aesthetics because that is going to beat and off Phil Heath. So, there's just so much going on here, and I think that these ads add undeniable entertainment value. I mean, Kai Green's off in India. He's going to China next, and then Pakistan. That guy's not signing an Olympia contract. Dennis Wolf's not going to do the Mr. Olympia. So, if anything, these ads are adding entertainment. I say that's great. And by the way, I am predicting Sean Flexitron Roden as your 2017 Mr. Olympia. You heard it here first. Okay. What else do I have to talk about? Kali Muscle has a brand new single. It's called Swell 'Em Up. It's available at iTunes and Google. And me, quite frankly, I think the hashtag to the song should be refund. What a crappy song. But, it's subjective. What I think is crappy, you might think is great. And you have so many haters that by me saying it's a crappy song, Kali might actually get some sales. New Dallas McCarver picture. The guy looks amazing. He's just huge and symmetrical and just building like crazy. And he was doing side laterals, so I think he was doing like side laterals with like 75 pounds, or maybe they were raises. I don't know, but it just looks insane. I know people out there like, but I thought you were going to take it easy and you were going to scale it down. People are just going to talk, Dallas. You got to do your thing. You're doing great. Speaking of photos, have you guys seen the photos of Brandon Curry coming out of Kuwait? My gosh, this guy, a shoo-in for the top 5. So I got Flexitron winning. I got Brandon Curry in the top 5. I'm not going to say more except the fact that Bonac will be in the top 6. But I'm not saying anything more. I don't want to do predictions out here in July. I'll do them later, like, the day of when people are walking on stage like the real handicappers. Okay, so Regan Grimes doing Tampa Pro. Looking phenomenal. Some great videos coming out. Boston Lloyd lives in the Tampa area. Maybe Boston will challenge Regan to a pose down. That's going to be a real nail biter to see who wins that one. But unfortunately, we do have some sad news. CT Fletcher, heart transplant, confirmed, released from the hospital. Very, very sad. I don't really want to talk about that just because I get a little choked up. I like CT a lot. For those of you that know me a little bit better, you know how much I look up to this guy. And the reality of the matter is it's very, very sad. And Sean Ray said it best. Someone has to die for CT to live. And it's a really, really unfortunate situation. Same thing with Senator John McCain, who's been diagnosed with brain cancer, which is very, very sad. But more closely to our industry, if you want to know more about CT Fletcher and what's going on with him, I highly, highly recommend that you check out Sean Ray Unleashed, episode 31. He did a perfect job. Much better than anything I could do. So be sure to check that out for any information on CT Fletcher. That's basically it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please share this video, leave comments, and again, in case you missed it, I am predicting Sean Flexitron Roden as your 2017 Mr. Olympia.